Historical views on happiness. Happiness has been a topic of interest throughout history, and different historical viewpoints offer unique perspectives on what it means to be a happy person. In this video, we will examine different definitions of a happy person from various historical viewpoints. Ancient Greek. The ancient Greeks were among the first to explore the concept of happiness. In Greek philosophy, happiness was seen as the ultimate goal of human life. According to Aristotle, a happy person is someone who is able to live a virtuous life, in which they are able to fulfill their potential as human beings. Happiness in ancient Greece was closely linked to the concept of eudaimonia, which means human flourishing or fulfillment. Middle Ages. In the Middle Ages, happiness was often associated with spiritual fulfillment. Christianity, which dominated European thought during this time, taught that true happiness could only be found in a relationship with God. A happy person in the Middle Ages was someone who had achieved salvation and was living in accordance with God's will. Happiness in this context was not seen as a fleeting emotion but as a state of being that was achieved through faith and devotion. Enlightenment. During the Enlightenment, happiness was seen as a more secular concept. Enlightenment thinkers believed that happiness could be achieved through reason and rationality. According to thinkers like John Locke and Jean-Jacques Rousseau, a happy person was someone who was free to pursue their own interests and live according to their own values. Happiness in the Enlightenment was closely linked to the concept of individualism and the idea of personal freedom. The 20th century. In the 20th century, happiness became increasingly associated with material wealth and consumer culture. Advertising and mass media promoted the idea that happiness could be found through the acquisition of material possessions. A happy person in this context was someone who had access to the latest technology, fashion, and entertainment. Happiness was no longer seen as a state of being but as a commodity that could be bought and sold. Recent times. In more recent times, there has been a growing interest in the concept of happiness as a holistic state of well-being. The field of positive psychology, which emerged in the late 20th century, focuses on the study of happiness and well-being. Positive psychologists define a happy person as someone who experiences positive emotions, has a sense of meaning and purpose in their life, and is able to cultivate positive relationships with others. In conclusion, different historical viewpoints offer unique definitions of what it means to be a happy person. By examining these different historical perspectives, we can gain a deeper understanding of the evolving nature of happiness over time. Ancient Greek philosophy saw happiness as the ultimate goal of human life, while Christianity associated happiness with spiritual fulfillment. The Enlightenment saw happiness as a product of reason and individual freedom, while consumer culture promoted happiness as a commodity that could be bought and sold. Today, the field of positive psychology sees happiness as a holistic state of well-being that involves positive emotions, meaning and purpose, and positive relationships.